Testing. I think we're ready here. Okay, so hello guys and gals. We're back with another reaction video. And we have the most disrespected Pokemon in existence. I saw this. I knew I had to react to it. First of all though, I did have permission to react to this one. Right here. This video looks really interesting. Would it be okay if I did a reaction video? And they said, sure buddy, you can do a reaction video. So I'm like, good, okay. This looked really fascinating. The thumbnail had Typhlosion on it. So wait, let me just close this tab down. I was finished uploading some videos. So anyways, this is by MetroTechUniverse. They are an amazing content creator. Oh, and we better subscribe. Yeah, there we go. Anyways, you should subscribe too. This looked like a really interesting video. I watched a few seconds into it and thought, yeah, I really want to do a reaction to this one because it was very well made. I could tell just from the first few seconds. And so, yeah, let's go full screen on this and let's go. It's 21 minutes. It's probably going to be an hour reaction, but we'll see. Let's go.
Some Pokemon get the spotlight and are loved and cherished.
Okay, let's go back just a little bit. That's true. The Pokemon Company do really like to spotlight some Pokemon. Pikachu basically usually has a clone in every single game, which is okay. I don't really mind the Pokemon clone. I mean the Pikachu clones, I guess. Charizard has 2 Mega Forms, G-Max, and yeah, all that. And Mewtwo has 2 Megas, so this has 2 Megas, this has 2 Megas, so yeah. Yeah, they really like, also they like really hitting the nostalgia button because these are all genuine Pokemon. So yeah, they know that they can push the nostalgia button and make money.
Pokemon get the spotlight and are loved and cherished, but then there are others. So it's really
Yep, unpaid interns, that's a very good observation. Yeah, I agree. I don't think that these Pokemon really get the love they deserve. Yeah, this really looks fascinating. So let's keep going.
showing up every day, but barely getting any respect. Today, we can talk about some of those mistreated Pokemon, the ones that were treated so poorly, you might as well consider them the most disrespected Pokemon in the franchise. And even though they all had it bad, one in particular really stands out. So the first Pokemon I'm going to talk about is Jinx.
Okay.
Now,
Jinx. I know very little about Jinx. I did watch the first season of the anime, and I don't know what they're gonna mention, but I know there was like controversy about Jinx, you know, about the whole blackface thing and stuff like that. Yeah, Jinx is kind of controversial. Also, it was like part of a trio actually, and then like the rest of the trio moved on, but it didn't or something. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna go into, but we'll see. Jinx, I would say, is basically disrespected. That's true. Also, okay, I'll mention it later.
I'm sure most of you guys saw this one coming.
Yep.
I was gonna put Jinx on the thumbnail, but I felt so bad for her that I didn't do it. Jinx has faced more controversies and a YouTuber apologizing in a notes-app screenshot. So yeah, I just had to talk about it. Jinx is characterized by its humanoid shape, female appearance, and large pink lips.
Yep.
It also had jet-black skin.
Okay, yeah, this is the image that got the most controversy, let's say. And I don't think that the intention was really, you know, I don't think that was their intention. I think they were just creating a character and they didn't realize there'd be this kind of backlash. But I mean, even we're even seeing like some politicians that are getting called out because they like dress in blackface or something. I don't know, that was kind of a few years back, I guess. But yeah, it's kind of there's been some backlash.
And for a while, nobody seemed to think much of it. But then holiday hijinks happened.
Oh yeah.
So multiple Jinx worked for Santa Claus and the outfits weren't that great. Some critics argue that Jinx is designed based on only few black stereotypes. And to make things worse, the episode itself could be interpreted as depicting dark-skinned characters serving you like a authority figure, especially in the question of compensation.
That's true. I agree. Um, I don't recall that particular episode, and again, he said it was pulled from rotation, so I might not have seen that one. But yeah, I could kind of see how they would think that. But again, I think it's based on intent, and I don't think the intent was meant to be bad. But I don't know. That's one of those things that they did what they thought was best and safest. But still, I still do think that Jinx gets a lot of disrespect. Again, I will point out something here later, maybe at the end of the Jinx section, because I do know something about Jinx that I don't know if they'll go into or not.
I think they just wanted to do it all in the episode and needed an extra Pokemon with more presence. Nothing more. From Gen 2 onward, Eleanor became the go-to Pokemon for many users. So yeah, making Jinx the only Pokemon Legends feel more like they wanted to extend it than any other choice. Just when you think Jinx can catch a break, the rug gets pulled. Jinx has a unique connection to Electabuzz and Magmar.
Oh yeah,
All three are positioned next to each other in the Pokédex, and their Ice, Electric, and Fire typings align with Let's Reverb
I didn't make this connection before, but that's true. Also, let me here. I don't know if you can see my pointer or not, but I'm over Magmar right here. Magmar eventually evolves into Magmortar, and Electabuzz eventually evolves into Electivire. So, like I say, these were a trio. I think they were intentionally meant as a trio. And the fact they correspond with legendary birds, it's really kind of cool. That's kind of wild. I like that. I don't like the fact that Jinx got dropped from the trio, but still,
In Gen 2, all three received three evolutions: Woodchuck, Lekid, and
yep.
Magmar. However, Gen 4 introduced the final evolutions for Electabuzz and Magmar, leading to final Magmar.
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
Jinx was left behind entirely. This made it seem like Game Freak had started to neglect it, and if that wasn't already bad enough, they never discovered another useful value Pokemon home, one that closely resembled Jinx's but had the signature reverb of a Mega Evolution cry. This suggests that Jinx was supposed to get a Mega Evolution in Gen 6, but for some reason,
That's okay. That's what I was going to point out. Okay, in the Terror Leak, Giga Leak. Sorry. Pardon my coughing. I need to get a drink of water. Data miners did indeed find a sprite for Mega Jinx. You know, a Mega Sprite for Jinx. So that would explain the cry that he's talking about. Excuse me. But yeah, it's the Terra leak or the Giga leak. You know, the huge leak. They did find an actual sprite also to go along with the cry.
then Game Freak scrapped it, leaving Jinx completely forgotten. And it's a shame too, because Ice type Pokemon are some of my favorites. I grew up in New York City, and we used to get a lot of snow. We still get snow, but not as much as before. So snow has always been a huge part of my life. From snoring off school to trudging through slushy sidewalks, winter shaped so many of my childhood memories. And I love it when developers incorporate ice and snow in their games. I'm not saying Jinx is one of my all-time favorite Pokemon, but since it's an ice type, I always try to attempt to use it well.
Okay, that's a good point. Now I wanted to incorporate some of my own um, childhood into this. Now, in Illinois, we get a lot of snow also. Illinois is kind of notorious. I remember that sometimes some winters were mild, but some were like really, really. We got like snow that was taller than the cars or something. It seems like a long time ago we got more snow than we do now. I don't know. It just seems kind of like that. But yeah, Illinois is kind of like that for me too. So snow also kind of has a connection to my childhood. With well, yeah, living in the Midwest, you know, Illinois, and kind of harsh winters, I would say. I'm not overly fond of cold or snow, really, but I do like Illinois. Illinois is kind of cool and downright cold sometimes. But anyway, let's keep going.
Whenever I get the chance, I just wish Game Freak cared about it more. The next Pokemon I want to talk about is Giratina,
Okay.
a Pokemon that was already banished due to another dimension, and somehow they used a rogue way to make things worse
Okay.
So if you haven't played it yet and want to avoid spoilers, I'll put a timestamp in the description and you can skip to the next Pokemon.
Okay. I have played Legends Arceus. I don't think I ever actually beat it, but I do know the scene that he's talking about. We're not going to skip it because, well, you can if you want to, but I should probably put a time index in here if you wanted to skip my reaction to that scene, but we're going to go through with it.
But if you have completed the game or don't like spoilers, then let's talk about Giratina, a completely disrespected
Yep. Mm-hmm.
in the post-game of Legends Arceus. Volo admits that he was behind everything.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
After telling you this, Volo will challenge you to a battle. After you beat him, Giratina shows up and you enter a second battle. This scene with Giratina.
Yeah, Giratina, strike him down!
That was really good. It shows that Giratina seems to share Volo's obsession and is a force to be reckoned with.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
However, after the battle, things get a bit awkward. Giratina vanishes from the scene, and Volo's back is turned. Volo then starts talking as if his words can still reach Giratina. He once had a conversation with Force, but Giratina got scared and ran away. Now, I know this was supposed to be a dramatic scene, but the way Volo describes his escape makes it sound like Giratina hadn't even gone. Like it was some full-left grunt running away after losing a battle. I feel like the dialogue makes Giratina, a rock-star legendary Pokemon, appear weak and spineless. It's an unnecessary choice that puts Giratina in a weak light.
I agree. I kind of felt that way too when I saw, I've actually sought out people reacting to this particular scene. Because it's kind of an iconic scene in the game. And so it's kind of interesting to see how people react to it, especially since there's a second phase. After you beat Giratina once and it goes into its altered form, this form here that's shown, and then you have to beat it again. But yeah, I kind of felt the same way. I kind of felt that Volo was disrespecting Giratina in that moment, and so I kind of felt bad for it.
But Volo wasn't done. He continues monologuing, talking about how he was the mastermind behind the partnership, and that Giratina was given a chance to be part of his plan. How does this mean? I don't think Volo is an interesting villain. It's shocking as hell. He doesn't automatically make the character more ready. It just makes him surprising in that moment. And once that moment passes, what's left? Even though the battle with Volo was really well done, he's one of the toughest in the series. His heel turn goes from 0 to 100 with no real build-up. One minute he's standing out, the next he's a medical elite villain who has a true 380 by wiping out everything.
Yeah, I agree. I feel they could have done more with Volo. You kind of see his betrayal coming. There's little hints here and there that he's obsessing over the plates and all that. So you can kind of see it coming, but it is kind of a shock, as he said, a heel turn. But yeah, I figured that Volo just seemed like he was kind of one-dimensional. I mean, they could have added more character to him, but I figure they could have just done better. But you never know.
Doesn't gradually descend into obsession, he just flips a switch.
Yeah.
The game does drop hints about Volo's true intentions, like when he teaches him a technique, but it never truly develops his arc. He never wrestles with doubt, never questions the weight of his choices. Even at the very end, he seems genuinely confused about why Arceus is being chosen, when he was literally planning to erase someone out. And since he is a post-game villain, there is no room for growth. He doesn't change, doesn't reflect, he just disappears to continue his fixation elsewhere, still chasing Arceus like nothing ever happened. And somehow, he faces no consequences for any of his actions. He caused all these problems in Hisui, yet nothing happens to him. It's like Game Freak was watching Kahoot while writing Volo. He gets away with everything scot-free. And it's not what Game Freak does in Underrated.
Okay, this is interesting. Yeah, I noticed that with Volo too. But yeah, I mean, he's gonna probably mention other villains that have a better arc, but they could have just written Volo a little bit better, I would say. Villains need growth, maybe a redemption arc. They just need time, I guess. They could have done a lot better, but well, I think they probably did the best they could at the time. I don't know. Let's keep going.
Antagonists, Silver from the Johto games,
Oh yeah,
is a great example
I
of
love
a
Silver.
character who evolves throughout the course of the game.
Yes, yes.
He goes from a thief who is very dismissive and arrogant toward Pokemon and trainers to someone who is respectful and composed. Genesis from Gen 5 is another great
Yep.
example. By the end of Black and White, his life completely unravels. He gets arrested, loses everything. He does, however, escape thanks to the Shadow Diet, but then he suffers a complete mental and emotional breakdown in Black and White 2, which can be seen as his ultimate punishment. Moving forward, Giratina actually grows. After catching Giratina, he learned from Professor Layton that anything that bends, he decided to protect the region.
Wow.
Deep down, Giratina has a good heart, and it didn't deserve any of the path of Nova.
That's true. Um, yeah, I feel that Giratina gets the short end of the stick a lot of the time, especially since it was like banished to the distortion realm. Um, yeah, and it's always seen as kind of like the bad guy, I would say. I suppose Darkrai is kind of in the same boat because a lot of people see it as being like a bad guy because it creates nightmares. But I think that Darkrai's intentions are good. I don't really see Darkrai as being evil, but Giratina, I don't know. As he said, it does make amends in Legends Arceus and does want to defend the realm, which is really really cool. Let's go on to this looks like Magikarp. I don't know. Let's see.
Alright, now let's talk about Magikarp.
Okay.
A Pokemon so disrespected that its own existence feels like a criminal crime. This poor fish has been a popular forbidden fruit since 1996.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right
Mm-hmm.
from the start, they placed a strict merchant there on the moon to scrap Pokemon's buyers.
Yep.
There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing teaches regret like bad purchase.
Yep.
And
Mm-hmm.
once you realize that, it's already too late. You're stuck babysitting Magikarp until it reaches level 20. But training it to that level is an arduous task, especially early in the game. And the worst part, you'll probably get way too attached to it, which means you won't store it in the PC or leave it at the daycare. Instead, you'll guilt yourself into keeping it in your party. But using Magikarp in battle is like entering a spelling bee with a calculator. It's completely useless.
That's true. It is. It only knows Splash, and for those of you who don't know, Splash does nothing. Also, Metronome can use Splash. I mean, Metronome, the move, can actually pick up Splash, and it's just kind of funny. I've had that happen before, and it's kind of really, really hilarious. Well, if it's the opponent, not you. But, yeah. Give me just a sec. So, yeah. With Magikarp, the only way you can level it up early on is to switch train it. Basically, put in the head of your party, switch it out, and then it will get, like, experience. So, it is kind of a pain. It does evolve into Gyarados, but it's really a pain to train up.
And somehow more embarrassing. And if that wasn't bad enough, even in the end, Magikarp couldn't catch a break.
That's true.
During the Indigo League arc, a Splash merchant asked James to buy Magikarp. It's more like the deal of a lifetime.
Okay.
Thinking he struck gold, James jumped at the offer. But just like in the games, Magikarp turned out to be completely useless. It just flopped around hopelessly
Yep.
and
Mm-hmm.
couldn't even swim.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, James gets so frustrated that he kicks Magikarp into the ocean and calls it a worthless fish. In the games, Game Freak eventually completed Magikarp and gave it a free boss. James gained access to the move Flail,
Okay. Okay.
which does more damage as Magikarp's HP decreases. However, it doesn't learn Flail until level 30. And
Ooh.
by that point, you might as well just use a rare candy and evolve it.
Yeah.
In Gen 4, it can learn Bounce, a two-turn move that deals physical damage and has a chance to paralyze any target. But it can only learn the move via a move tube.
Oh.
Finally,
Okay.
in Gen 8, Magikarp gained access to Hydro Pump through a technical record, giving it an actual offensive presence.
Okay.
Unfortunately, in Gen 9, it lost access to the
Oh.
move entirely. I understand why a Pokemon like Magikarp exists. It's a symbol that even the weakest needs awareness with enough determination. But every now and then, I can't help but feel bad for it. Luckily, that feeling doesn't last long once it evolves into the absolute monster that is Gyarados.
Yeah. Also in Gen 2, I don't know if he's gonna mention that. In Gen 2, you do get the red Gyarados, the shiny Gyarados in Lake of Rage. You also get the dragon scale that you give to Lance. No wait, you give the dragon scale to somebody, and then you get like the the thing, the experience share. That's it. I think it's been a long time since I played Gen 2. But anyways, yeah. If you work really hard and with your Magikarp, it does evolve into Gyarados, and it is worth it. It's kind of annoying, really. But I can see why it's frustrating. It's very frustrating.
It's like watching a kid who got bullied come back from summer break with a six-pack and a full lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Up next is Tyranitar.
Okay.
A Pokemon so powerful, you would expect it to be treated like a force of nature.
Well, yeah.
But somehow it keeps getting humiliated over and over. Tyranitar is said to knock down mountains and reshape landscapes.
Okay, wait. Let me see. Generation 4, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. If it rampages, it knocks down mountains and buries rivers. Maps must be redrawn afterwards? Ooh. Well, crud, that's kind of scary. Okay.
When it rampages, it's a pseudo-legendary with monstrous stats.
Okay, well, let's have a look at these stats. 100 HP, 134 attack, 110 defense, 95 special attack, 100 special defense, 61 speed, and the 600 total. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely has pseudo legendary stats.
An intimidating design and the kind of reputation that should make it unstoppable.
Okay, yeah, it's based off of Godzilla, I believe, or a Gojira, a kaiju.
But despite all that hype, Tyranitar's been treated like an afterthought. It barely gets any major battles, and when it does show up, it's either losing or standing in the background. Negative about Tyranitar treats through lanes, but left instead.
Okay. Um, I wasn't familiar with this. Actually, my only knowledge of Tyranitar is Tyranitar Tube, the YouTuber. But that's kind of sad to just see him standing back there. I mean, it looks like Ampharos is kind of looking kind of sad too, like he wants to dance. But and then Bellsprout's just like chilling, I guess. Um, Kind of sad, really. Tyranitar looks like a really cool Pokemon. You'd think that they would treat it better.
Punchable. In the Sun and Moon series, Tyranitar was used as an obstacle for Lily to overcome so she could have some character development. In this episode, a Tyranitar attacks a group of Alolan Sandshrew. The Lily steps in and commits a double battle to take it down. When the fight ends, Tyranitar gets scared and runs away faster than Scooby-Doo after hearing a spooky noise. If you thought that made Tyranitar
Okay.
bad, wait until you see what happens next. In Pokemon Journeys, Team Rocket was able to get Tyranitar from a capsule colony location and used it to steal a group of Bulbasaur and Ivysaur. However, Ash intervenes and uses Pikachu to stop Team Rocket. The scene made Ash and Pikachu look like total legends because Pikachu's Thunderbolt overpowered Tyranitar and its partner Gyarados. But watching Tyranitar get blasted away was both sad and a little ridiculous. It was like watching Viola try to throw a massive tire only for it to not run at all. I think the worst moment for Tyranitar was in Pokemon Forever. In the movie, a
Oh
high-ranking
yeah,
Rocket member
I remember
catches
this.
Tyranitar with a Dark Ball and later uses it against Ash and his friends. Brock tries to stop it with Onyx, but Onyx struggles to hold its own. That's when Suicune jumps in and takes Tyranitar down with a water-type move. But Onyx didn't want to join in. It whips its tail around and smacks Tyranitar so hard that it goes flying across the lake.
I think I kind of remember that scene. It's been a long time since I've seen Pokemon Forever. That was the Celebi one. Yeah, that's sad though that they would disrespect it like that. That's just, oh, I just didn't realize that. I mean, I've always thought that Tyranitar was like a this really amazing Pokemon. I didn't realize that it was being so neglected or abused in the movies. I guess maybe when I watched this movie, I knew, but I really hadn't been watching the anime, so I didn't know that.
Like a frisbee thrown by someone with zero aim. You find out later that Tyranitar survived the hit, but at that point the damage was already done. Honestly, I don't think the anime knows what to do with Tyranitar. It's just a placeholder Pokemon they throw in when they need a quick antagonist, nothing more. No real depth, no real respect.
Okay. So yeah, that's just kind of sad. That was enlightening because I didn't really realize, having not seen the anime, I didn't realize that they'd done that to Tyranitar. That's just kind of sad. Especially since it's a pseudo legendary. Hmm. Well, this looks like far fetched. We'll have to see.
Let's talk about Farfetch'd,
Okay.
Kanto's forgotten middle child.
Yep.
Farfetch'd is labeled as a rare Pokemon, not because it's strong or special, it's rare because someone forgot to pick a purpose. What a move would be to hibernate this Pokemon in the wild.
That's
The
true.
only way
Mm-hmm.
to get one is through a negative trick or really insane.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But even if you go through the trouble of trading for it, you are left with a Pokemon that isn't that important. When you compare Farfetch'd to Kanto's flyers, such as Pidgey, Zero, or Doduo, it just doesn't hold up. While the women evolve into global Pokemon, Pidgey becomes super cool, Squirtle becomes really intimidating, and Doduo becomes bizarre but effective. And to make things worse, the Pokédex doesn't exactly help this case. Farfetch'd is so weak that it uses a leaf as a weapon. Duck or Fruta already tell you that's the meat you're cooking with.
Yeah, that is kind of like what the name Farfetch'd is like in Japanese or something. If I remember the legend or the origin of the name, it was like it was as likely to appear as a duck carrying a leek or something like that to cook it with or something. But yeah. Oh, what's this? In the 1997 Nintendo Space World demo of Pokemon Gold and Silver, Farfetch had an evolution known as Madamu that was scrapped in the final release of the games. That's sad because, well, I know eventually it did get an evolution, but still.
Turns out, Farfetch'd was supposed to get an evolution in Gen 2, but
Okay.
it got scrapped in the final version. It wasn't until Gen 8 that we finally saw some justice for this Pokemon. Farfetch'd is still rare, but it now has a legend form and an evolution.
Oh yeah, that's a
It's
good
a
one.
absolute legend.
Yep, it
It
is.
may not be the fastest Pokemon out there, but it hits like a truck.
It does.
When
Mm-hmm.
I picked up my Sword for the first time, I used one and it instantly became one of my favorites. I haven't had this much fun using a Pokemon since Lucario and Sinnoh from the Electric Home.
Oh yeah.
And even in the anime,
Okay. Those are really good Pokemon he used also. Manectric, very, very cool. Lucario, awesome legend. Um, in my eyes, Lucario will always be a legend. It's not exactly legendary or anything like that. It does have its own movie, even though it is not mythical. It was Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, I believe. But yeah, those are really good Pokemon to use also. It's always good to have Pokemon like that. You know, you build memories with these Pokemon. So let's see. Okay, well, they're going to talk about Master Journeys. Okay.
the Farfetch'd family finally got its moment, though only in Ash's final chapter.
Okay.
Ash could have evolved Farfetch'd, trained it, and when it evolved into Farfetch'd, it did its own tournament in the Masters Age tournament. Don't
Okay.
get me wrong, watching Lucario take down Cynthia's Garchomp was satisfying, because my Lucario did the same back in 2007.
Exactly.
Seeing Farfetch'd refuse to fall during that battle was insane. So overall, Farfetch'd might have been overlooked in the past, but in Gen 8, it finally got the respect it deserved. Some Pokemon may go unnoticed, but then there's Stunfisk, who takes it to the next level.
Okay, so Stunfisk. I don't really know much about this Pokemon. Excuse me. So yeah. I'm not even sure what generations Stunfisk was from actually, but I know that not very many people like it. I know that it got a regional form in Gen 8 because I know I've seen people play through that and pick it up there. Also, I think I have one in Pokemon Go. Um, well, let's see what they say.
Stunfisk looks like the kind of Pokemon that was designed on a Friday afternoon when everybody just wanted to go home.
Yep.
So they drew a pancake, slapped their face, and called it a day.
Yep.
Poor dude, doesn't even get speed. It's not
Okay,
that.
wait. Let's have a look at these stats. Let's magnify these. Okay, HP 109. That's not too bad. Attack 66, Defense 84, 81 Special Attack, 99 Special Defense, and 32 Speed. Ooh, that is a stinky speed. Ooh. Yeah, that is not going to do much. Speed is Well, it's got lots of good other stats, but still. Even if you have really good defense, if your speed is that low...
That's strong, and to make things worse, they give you the limber, which prevents it from being paralyzed.
Okay, now, if I remember Limber, what was it? Oh, yeah. It was an electric type, so it can't be paralyzed anyways. So it's kind of a pointless move, isn't it? Wait, I don't know. We'll see.
But here's the thing. Stunfisk is a ground electric type. Being paralyzed is that's the major worry about it. From Gen 6 onward, electric types became completely immune to paralysis.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Making this ability feel even more pointless. At this point, it's less of an ability and more like a sign that gameplay just wanted to mess with it. If you beat anime, Stunfisk doesn't get any respect. It's treated as a goofy kawaii Pokemon that exists purely for gags. In its debut episode, it appears alongside Poketoad. While Poketoad gets in one battle against Ash's Oshawott, Stunfisk gets hooked on a fishing rod and left dangling awkwardly until the battle ends. Ash catches Poketoad after Oshawott defeats it, while Cyber catches Stunfisk for no other reason than it just being there. At
Okay.
that point, Stunfisk goes on to lose a lot of battles, and its biggest contribution is just being the eyeball of the group. In Gen 8, Stunfisk actually gets some recognition
Okay.
with a regional form.
Okay, yeah.
But now it looks like a bear trap that was forcibly turned into a more happy. The Rock Victory design and its timing also changed, from ground electric to ground steel.
Okay.
Which gives it more resistances, but it can't learn any good steel type moves.
Well, that's
So
true.
despite the timing change, Galarian Stunfisk can't really take advantage of its steel typing offensively. Most of the time, it still relies on ground-type moves to deal damage. However, Gale did give a signature move, which is always cool.
Snap trap. Yeah, snap trap.
Traps the target and deals additional damage for 4 to 5 turns. The only weird part is it's a grass-type move. You would think it would be steel.
Wait, why would they give it a grass type move that's a steel type? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, I paused it because I wanted to put in my own thoughts here, but that just doesn't make sense. So wait a minute. Well, let's read this. It's a grass type. It's a grass type physical move. Has 15 PP with a maximum of 24, 35 power, 100% accurate. Makes contact. Affected by Protect. Not affected by Magic Coat. Not affected by Snatch. Affected by Mirror Move. And affected by King's Rock. Okay. So that's just kind of weird. Okay.
Considering the bear trap design, the grass type
Oh, okay.
grassy terrain where it translates instead. Overall, I actually like the Galarian Stunfisk. The design is pretty clever, and it does something Granite has. It's kind of relatable. It's like when you take a school picture and the photographer tells you to look natural, so you force a smile and that looks ridiculous. That's exactly the energy Galarian Stunfisk gives off. And when you see this in game enemies, you quickly snapshot the trap springing into action. It's a really neat detail.
I don't think I ever actually noticed that because I don't think I ever caught one in Gen 8. That's really kind of cool though. The animation of it closing. I kind of like this Pokemon. I like this Pokemon. It's kind of cute actually.
That makes the design even better. To sum it up, Stunfisk started out as a goofy punching bag, but somewhere along the way, people actually started to love it. And at this point, it's probably not going to be forgotten anytime soon. The next Pokemon I'm going to talk about means a lot to me, and that's Typhlosion.
Yep.
This isn't just another Pokemon, it's one I've had a connection with since I was a kid. I'll never forget the first time I saw
Okay.
Cyndaquil. I was sitting on the living room floor watching Pokemon on a full scale TV in Blair Forest.
Yep.
This tiny creature
Yep.
with wings burst from its bag, taking down the Team Rocket robot like it was nothing. Right then I thought, this is one of the coolest Pokemon ever. It became my starter Pokemon in Johto, my hero Pokemon in Red SUT, and for years, Typhlosion was the embodiment of what I loved about Pokemon. It was strong, fast, and had a really cool design.
Okay. For me, my history with Cyndaquil. Wait. I don't know if this is going to show up. Sorry, I'm going to minimize this for now. Got my Cyndaquil here from Walmart. Sleepy Cyndaquil. See, it's got its eyes closed, so it's a sleepy Cyndaquil. I got that from Walmart. I had to pick it up when they had those in stock. Anyways, yeah. When I would play a Pokemon game, I've only okay. My first Pokemon game was Pokemon Red and Blue. I bought them like the day they came out. So yeah, been a Pokemon fan for a long time. And I would always pick the Fire Starter. That was just like my thing. So of course, when I got Gold and Silver, which I did get Gold Silver, I also got Yellow, but Gold and Silver, I did pick Cyndaquil. Um, and when I played Generation 9, I picked Fuecoco. Of course, then when I played Violet, I chose Florigato. I mean, Sprigatito. But still, and I really do love Typhlosion. The entire line, it shows character. When it's Cyndaquil, it's kind of shy. I don't know if this is even showing up, but shy, and it just kind of like evolves personality wise as well. With Cyndaquil, it starts out like shy. It's kind of like the same arc as Sobble, I would say. Because Sobble starts out, shy and weepy, and then it like becomes like emo, and then it becomes like this cool secret agent dude. With Cyndaquil, it was more like it starts out shy and then like becomes more confident, and then becomes Typhlosion, this amazing, confident creature. So yeah, I have lots of fond memories with Typhlosion.
But over the years, things changed and Typhlosion quickly became, in my humble opinion, one of the most disrespected Pokemon ever. In the anime, Typhlosion didn't get much attention. Master Cyndaquil never evolved in Johto, and when it finally became a Farfetch'd, it happened during the single storyline, long after it left Ash's main team, so it never got the chance to evolve into Typhlosion.
That's true.
The few times we really saw Typhlosion in action was in Pokemon Chronicles,
Yeah.
where it appeared in one of its many side stories.
Yeah, I have seen some. I haven't actually watched all of Chronicles, but I've only seen like I've seen a few scenes from it. I want to watch it. I just haven't gotten around to it. But yeah, Jimmy's Typhlosion. Yeah, it has one of him laughing, of Typhlosion laughing at Jimmy, and I always thought that was kind of cute. Yeah, that looks like an amazing series too. It's just one I never have actually watched.
But since Pokemon Chronicles wasn't part of Ash's main journey, a lot of people missed out on it. Typhlosion's troubles really started when Pokemon transitioned to 3D models. Players quickly noticed that some Pokemon looked worse in 3D than they did in 2D, and unfortunately, Typhlosion was one of them.
That's true. I've heard that a lot. Plus, its flames are gone. Its flames only show up in battle or something, or when it attacks. And that kind of makes sense, I suppose. But yeah, um, I like it when its flames are out, basically. Um, so yeah, I get that they wanted to advance the technology and go 3D, but they they could have done better, I guess. Yeah, yeah.
Its iconic flames, which were always visible in older games, now only appeared when it attacked. Some may argue that this makes sense. Cyndaquil and Farfetch'd also interact with their flames in a neutral state, so Typhlosion being the same keeps things consistent. But visually, it made a huge
Oh,
difference.
it does, yeah.
Without its flames, Typhlosion suddenly looked weak and uninspired. Its fire was a core part of its identity, but without it, it lost some of its presence.
Yep.
A simple idle animation where the flames briefly flared out every now and then could have prevented a lot of the backlash. In Gen 8, the flames finally returned, but only for Hisuian Typhlosion.
Now I do love Hisuian Typhlosion. It's probably one of my favorite Typhlosion varieties, I would say. I think the neck collar here reminds me of World of Warcraft. The hexing hood. There was a piece of gear called the hexing hood that you would get in I think it was Zolomon. It was the troll dungeon. And it looks just like the hexing hood, so I loved that. Plus the purple flames, really amazing design. A lot of people also didn't really like the design either because Typhlosion looked like really stoned or something. But I honestly I still love it.
In Legends Arceus, this time the flames appear whenever it enters battle. However, Hisuian Typhlosion comes with its own set of problems. When Legends Arceus, no looks like he runs a meditation podcast and nobody listens to him.
Yeah, I agree.
Regardless, bringing the flames back was a step in the right direction.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
In Gen 9, Game Freak applied the same fix to regular Typhlosion. Now that players can view Pokemon more closely in battle and the overworld.
That's cute too. I'm pretty sure I do have a Typhlosion in Gen 9. I remember that too. It just collapses. Yeah, that's it's such a cute animation. Plus, you can have your Pokemon, out wandering around you, and it can just like fall asleep. I do like that about Gen 9.
It actually looks good, even without the flames. It seemed like things were finally turning around for Typhlosion. With the flames back, it actually started to look like its old awesome self again. But just when it seemed like Typhlosion was getting the respect it deserved, something unexpected happened. Game Freak had a data leak and a bunch of information was released online. Hidden in those files was an internal lore draft about Typhlosion, one that made fans reconsider everything they thought they knew. Now,
Okay, so it was the Terra leak. Okay. Yeah, they're gonna talk about the stories. Now there were 5 stories, I think. There were probably more, but they only mentioned 5. There was one that dealt with Rapidash. There was one that dealt with Octillery. One that dealt with Slacking, Slackhoth, and all those. One that dealt with Typhlosion. And there was I don't remember what the other one was. But there were like 5 different stories, and they were all basically the same. They were basically just retelling of yokai, Japanese folk tales, except from the perspective of Pokemon. What made things worse was that the Typhlosion story was mistranslated. They'd used like Google Translate or something, and so it wasn't translated properly. So that led to even more problems. One of the problems, but let's go in depth in this, we might as well. One of the problems was that they thought that the Typhlosion was helping an underage girl. And because the story said young, but it was basically the story for a maiden, someone who was unmarried. So it was basically this unmarried woman, not a young woman, that this Typhlosion was helping and protecting. So there's problems with the translation, and it just made things a lot worse. I don't know if that actually makes it better or worse, but we'll see.
I'm not going to go into the specifics of what was written, but it suggested some disturbing things about Typhlosion. Things that forced fans to see it in a completely different light. While it's not part of the official story, the mere idea of it was enough to make fans uneasy. Typhlosion isn't just a new Pokemon, it's a Game Boy era starter Pokemon, and those have a special place in people's hearts. It's the kind of Pokemon players have grown up with, battled alongside, and formed a lifelong connection to. So seeing it associated with something like this was unsettling. Pokemon has always had some dark undertones, but nothing quite like this. Some might argue that this was just a scrapped idea, something that was never meant to be part of the final games, but that doesn't change the fact that someone at Game Freak once explored this idea, and just knowing that was enough to make a lot of fans uncomfortable. And saying it's just one Typhlosion doesn't change how people see the situation. When people think of Typhlosion, they don't see it as just another Pokemon, they see their Typhlosion, the one they raised, took into battle, and rocked it with over the years. That's how we connect with these creatures, and that's why unexpected lore like this, even if it's not canon, creates a strange disconnect.
That's true. I know that they're going to go into greater detail. But anyways, pardon me. Okay, saw some water. Good. Sorry, I am still a little bit under the weather. Okay. So yeah. About the leaks. Yeah. I think what they did was they wrote these stories out and they simplified them. Because in the Canalave library in whatever Pokemon game that was, it was probably Gen 3 or Emerald Sapphire, something like that. There's that book that says that people used to marry Pokemon or something like that. But that's only the translation in the Japanese version. They sanitized it a little bit further for the West. It's kind of like them taking and turning all the Buddhist statues into Diglett statues and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, it doesn't change the fact though. The let's see. The bond I have with Typhlosion, it kind of, I didn't really let the Terra leak information from that actually taint that, because I still really do like Typhlosion. It was really interesting to see how people reacted to that. Um, but yeah, I had kind of a slightly different take actually, because you have to take into account that Game Freak is like always family friendly. You know, all their games are family friendly. You know, and then when the leak happened, you find out there's all these adult stories that someone had written, um, that are basically 18 plus and involving Pokemon. And considering that Game Freak and Nintendo has basically DMCA'd artists for making art similar to these stories and forcing them to take down that art, basically because the art was like on Patreon, you know, people were paying to see it and stuff like that. And Nintendo was issuing DMCA for this type of content that they themselves basically had in their archives. I don't know. It just was different. Anyways, let's keep going.
It's like finding out your childhood best friend had a dark past. It doesn't change the memories you made together, but it definitely makes you see them in a different light. I think as time goes on, people will move on from this, and Typhlosion will continue to gain new fans. And Game Freak, as a company, seems to have learned a lot over the years, and is making sure that Pokemon remains a positive and enjoyable franchise for everyone. So, there you have it. These are all the Pokemon I wanted to talk about in this video. If you made it to this part, I just want to say thank you for watching and for sticking around. And feel free to be back, and I hope to make more videos like this in the future. So until then, stay tuned.
Okay, so this was amazing. I agree. All these Pokemon had been disrespected. Um, I didn't realize to what extent some of them had been. Mainly Tyranitar. So this was eye-opening and really very well presented. This was an amazing video, so you make sure you check it out. It will be linked in the description below, along with a link to MetroTechUniverse's YouTube channel, so you can watch all of their videos, and I hope you do. They are at 66.9k subscribers, but let's see that number get up to 70, 80, 100k, because they definitely deserve it. These videos are amazing. And I'd really like to see them grow even further. They definitely have the know-how. They've done all the research. These videos are awesome. So yeah, make sure that you are that you're subscribed to their channel. And yeah, amazing video. I can't really praise it enough. I'm going to hit share. I'm going to do my homework now. Give me just a sec. You know how I am with homework. I don't procrastinate. Just kidding, I usually do. There. That way I don't have to hunt this video up later. I'm going to hit save, just in case anything happens. And there. So yeah, MetroTechUniverse, amazing content creator. Make sure that you check them out. Again, this video will be linked in the description below, along with a link to their channel. So you can view this video along with all their other ones. They are a very gifted content creator. Make sure that you show them a lot of love. But yeah, that is going to do it on my end, I guess. I wanted to say that I am deeply humbled that I had the privilege to react to this video. I hope I did it justice. But yeah, it really means a lot that I was approved to react to this video. because it's one I really wanted to react to. And so, yeah. But anyways, yeah, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you show the original content creator, MetroTechUniverse, a lot of love and support. And that is going to do it. Thanks for watching, everyone. You are loved, and have a great day.